Stern Ritter chicks ain't nothing for Ichigo right now. Let's go. So again, this was another one of those chapters where I read this shit in like 2 minutes or something like that. For the most part, Ichigo starts up the battle with them and he's quickly like backing them up. So you can see that there's a clear indication that Ichigo at the very least is at their level, but obviously he's, you know, above and beyond because he's blowing them back with one, you know, swipe. And it's interesting to see that they're getting ruffled at this point already. Like Candace is screaming like, "You motherfucker," and going crazy or whatever. So you see that the Stern Ritter aren't gonna hold back at this point. It's gonna be an all-out brawl, but I wish we would have got more of the fight. Like, I felt like this chapter was just like, I'm Ichigo, swing, and then like, you know, they're backing up and they're like, okay, we're gonna fight, and a big chunk of the chapter was just, yeah, we're gonna go at it, who the hell this guy thinks he is. It was interesting to see Ichigo's new costume the way it is, whatever. It's like back to sort of the way it used to be, except now he has like that thing on his shoulder like his father. So he kind of reminded me of Ishin in this chapter when he showed up and he was just standing there like ready to go. But I really wish we would have got more of the fight. Like, it was mainly him just swiping at them, and you can see that more than likely they're not going to be too much of a challenge for Ichigo, which they really shouldn't be. And he's probably going to get rid of them, I'd say, within the next chapter too. Hopefully he doesn't take too much damage or anything, because again, if he's going to go up against Juha Bach, you know, all the people above the Stern Ritter, then he really can't take too much damage. So I'm hoping that it's not too long of a fight, but we didn't really get much of the fight at all in this chapter. And that's something Kubo's been doing lately. It's kind of like, get a little here, a little there, you know, we'll have a panel of Ichigo like this here, a panel there, and that's how like he goes through the chapter or whatever. So that was mainly my complaint with this one, is that there should have been more of what's going on. I shouldn't read this in 2 minutes and be like, oh. And in the ending, we get some setup where Juha Bach is like, all right, you know, it's time to go, let's go. And he's like, Uryu, Oswald, it's time. So I'm curious, is he going to try an all-out assault on them? Is he going to send Uryu at Ichigo first? What is Juha Bach's plan at this point? Because you can see that he's gearing up at the very end for, at the very least, something. Maybe he's going to wait till Ichigo is a little bit weakened or something. So he definitely has a plan at the very least. And in the end, he's like trying to begin whatever the plan may be, which I thought at this point Oswald would be kind of tied up with Kyoraku or something. And I mean, at the end of the day, if he sends Uryu to Ichigo to fight him, if they do fight it, and, you know, Ichigo goes full force, which he probably won't, but for the most part, he's sending him to a losing battle. So I really hope it's not the case where he's just sending Uryu, you test your skills, because Ichigo coming back from the Soul Palace, no matter what Uryu can do, unless he has some crazy technique that can, you know, just is really effective against Shinigami, what really can he do against Ichigo? So they're either going to do a full-on assault, or he has some sort of plan, because other than that, just Ichigo's going to own if he throws Uryu at him. And I don't know if he'll necessarily own, but he'll defeat Oswald as well. I feel right now, probably the only one at this point that can stop Ichigo once he gets through with all of, you know, Bombietta's crew is Juha Bach himself. Although I did find it interesting with Stern Ritter D at the end of the chapter, where he was saying something like, so it's about to begin, do I have a choice or not? I was wondering, like, is it because he doesn't want to fight? What was the reason to just throw that Stern Ritter D part in there? I will say one thing, and this is probably just like a small theory out there. Stern Ritter D, he looks very similar to Aizen. I mean, dude got the same hair. He looks just like Aizen. What if that is actually Aizen and he tricked them this entire time using his Shikai? Maybe he got his Shikai back somehow, and he basically tricked them into thinking that this was, you know, he was there all along, and he's some Stern Ritter, and he's about to, like, go into action, and maybe we'll get some Aizen versus Juha Bach. Just a theory out there. Either way, that would be interesting, because why else would he just show Stern Ritter D at the very end of the chapter? So it's about to begin. Do I have a choice? Like, is it because he's going to send him to as a big opponent, as a big threat against Ichigo? But as a whole, aside from, like, some setups and some possible foreshadowings at the end of the chapter, it was mainly just, like, the beginning of the battle with Ichigo and Bombietta's crew, which I hope it doesn't last too long again, but as a whole, just really, again, Kubo be making these chapters feel like they 2-minute reads and not all that much happened. So I'm gonna give this chapter 6.5 out of 10. Ichigo looking cool right there. It was like, all right, you know, things about to kick off, but we should have got more of this fight. At the very least, maybe he could have killed one of Bombietta's crew right there, and then bam, that would have been like a good start to the fight or something, but we didn't even get that. It was just he fucked up Candace's hair. Like, what? Having a bad hair day? But let me know what you guys think. First of all, you think it's a possibility that Stern Ritter D could be Aizen, and he actually tricked them into thinking that he's been there all along, and he's been one of, you know, the Stern Ritter with them? And what do you think is Juha Bach's plan with him gathering up Oswald and Uryu? Do you think he's gonna make a full-on assault on Ichigo? He's gonna trap him with Uryu and have him say, yeah, you know, I'm here to help or something? What do you think is his plan? And just overall thoughts of the chapter. Again, I just felt like there should have been much more to this fight. Maybe one of Bombietta's crew getting knocked out by Ichigo Ichigo easily or something, and, you know, just something happening other than just, like, some setup, because that's what it was across the board, just, like, slow and small setup. That's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.